them in a Pittsburgh Penguin uniform within the next couple of years. So hopefully they'll make good picks, and we'll talk about some of the names that should be there when they are picking. A lot of trade rumors swirling around the Penguins at this draft as well. And it's already been hinted at the fact that they might be picking higher than 11. They could use these multiple draft choices that they have as trade bait. There's also talk about giving offers to restricted free agents, using some of those draft picks as bait for that as well, and even the potential of maybe unloading Erik Karlsson, who's willing to waive his limited trade clause if he has the opportunity to go to a contender. So a lot to digest with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Nick will fill us in on what's going on with the NBA. Also, the WNBA, I don't think they're having a draft. I think they're still playing their season. So he'll keep you updated on that. Heard some bad news. Caitlin Clark will not be in the lineup tonight. So he can let you know what happened to her and what to expect from all of that as well. Not a lot of news surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers. But, of course, you know, everyone's going to be real excited because Aaron Rodgers is here. I guess the big news is he went on Pat McAfee and basically said he believes this year is going to be his last. So if you were hoping for, you know, some dynasty to come out of this signing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, nope, another one and done, just like Russell Wilson and, well, Kenny Pickett made it a couple of years. So still trying to find that replacement for Ben Roethlisberger. Honestly, what you need to do is get to a position where you can draft that person. Maybe that could have happened back in 2020, but no, had to make a trade in 2019, trade that first-round pick away so you could bring in a safety who plays in a different area code every time the ball's snapped. So that's money well spent, $22+ million against the cap for Minkah Fitzpatrick. Outside of that, they do whatever they can to be right around 500, sneak into the playoffs, get annihilated once they get there, and then call it a success because as the clown car ownership and clown in training son tell you, they're ahead of the mean. So really, that's all that matters. At the end of the first hour, we were talking about this potential trade deadline for Major League Baseball and the potential trade or unloading, I guess, of Mitch Keller. So I've been looking. I figured I'd at least start with this. Apparently the Chicago Cubs are extremely interested in Mitch Keller. Now, not only is this a National League team, this is a division team. The Cubs are currently 16 games better than the Pittsburgh Pirates in the NL Central. So I started to look at their list of prospects just to see what the Pirates could potentially ask for from the Chicago Cubs. And I'll tell you what, there's not a whole lot there. Honestly, the Cubs might be a decent source for the Pirates because most of what I see are hitters. There are only a handful of pitchers in their top 30 prospect list. The highest-ranked pitcher on there is Brandon Birdsell, who's a 25-year-old who's still pitching in high single A. So I don't anticipate any sort of pitching coming back in return. But here's the deal. They don't need pitching. They have pitching. They have loads of it in the minor leagues. They need hitters. And there's two guys I look at. They're number 1 and number 3 prospect overall. Number 1 is Owen Casey. Number 2 is Kevin Alcantara, both outfielders. Alcantara got a little bit of time last year in Major League Baseball, didn't do much. They have lanky frames. They have power. You need to get one of those two guys. If you're going to trade Mitch Keller to the Cubs and you don't get one of those two, I don't even care which one it is. I think they're both 22. You're rolling the dice with both of them. But one of them has to come over with, I think, maybe 2 other mid-tier guys. If you can pull that off, I don't care if he's 1-10. I don't care if he has an ERA over 4. You pay him like he's an ace. When you trade him, you need to acquire what you can that makes it look like he's an ace as well. You need to get one of those two guys. If you don't get him, you keep Keller. And if they don't get him and they don't keep Keller, then that will show you, hopefully more than anything else that you've seen in the past. This is nothing more than a salary dump. This has nothing to do with baseball. It's all about money. And in the end, they'll move whoever they can at any point if it'll save them a couple of million here or there. Look at what happened at the end of last year, refusing to pay the signing bonuses or whatever incentive bonuses that clicked in. Kiner Falefa took a seat for 2 games. Rowdy Tellez refused and got released. So $250K was really all it was going to cost them, and they refused to do it. So anyways, you can look to see if there's any names that stand out to you. I don't think they're going to trade Keller to the Cubs. I think the Cubs are going to probably end up with the Marlins, Sandy Alcantara. That'd be awesome if they got Sandy Alcantara for Kevin Alcantara. But in the end, wherever he goes, it needs to look like a legitimate baseball trade. Most of the trades Sherrington has made have looked anything but. Somebody has to come over that looks like they could provide some sort of pop in the bat and some sort of hope for the future, or maybe the present. I mean, these guys are 22. They should be up by now. The Cubs are just good. They have good players. They're legitimately being blocked by guys like Kyle Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong. So I can't imagine they'd be blocked by Tommy Pham and 38-year-old Andrew McCutchen. So, hopefully they figure out a way to get something for whatever it is that they're going to move at this trade deadline, because you're certainly not getting anything for Haney or Pham. So if you're going to trade these others, you need to get something legit that's going to come back for them. The Pittsburgh Steelers, not a whole lot happening with the Steelers outside of Aaron Rodgers doing what's going to turn in to be his weekly media appearance on the Pat McAfee show. I'm sure they'll get much more exciting and entertaining as the season progresses. I can only imagine when that clash finally occurs what all he's going to say, because you can't control him. He'll say whatever he feels like saying. But the big news that he dropped today, or the other day, and I don't think it's huge news. I think most people probably thought it, but now you've got, I guess, confirmation. I'm surprised his ego can handle it. I thought he'd play till he was 60 if somebody would continue to give him a contract. But Aaron Rodgers basically saying he believes this season will be his last. So if you were hoping for some long-term success out of this signing, isn't going to happen. It looks like it's going to be a one-and-done. Big shocker there. And because he took such a cheap rate at $13.5 million, might turn into 19 and whatever million, that pretty much ensures that T.J. Watt will get whatever he asks for from the Pittsburgh Steelers as far as his next contract, even though he's on a current contract, yet hasn't been doing anything with it. So in the end, it is what it is, but I'm sure Nick's not really shocked by this either. I mean, were you hoping, this was going to be a dynasty, maybe 3 or 4 Super Bowls with 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers? Or was it shock value that he said? He didn't say definitely. He just said, this is probably going to be my last year.
Well, he's very mysterious, Aaron Rodgers, and he's very private, even though he's on TV and radio every day. And, when you're 42, 41, going on 42, I expect another 10, 15 years out of him. Why not Tom Brady play till he was 60?
And he looks so good, too. He's great. So mobile, and he looks like he's in his 20s like Brady did when he was that age.
Yeah, I mean, he looks awesome, man. I'm expecting, if he can't do it, though, maybe Aaron will win 2 or 3 Super Bowls, then Mason Rudolph and Will Howard will step in and win a few more.
Hey, well, don't worry. When he goes up to St. Vincent's and all the hacks go up there with him, you'll think he's 25 years old, ready to win MVP when they tell you how great he looks up there.
I was going up to St. Vincent. Am I a hack, Dave?
No, I'm talking about the hack media that's going to cover it.
Oh, I was going to cover it for you.
Oh, well, that's
they won't let you on the campus. But
will they allow you to say what's really going on, or do you have to say what they tell you to say?
Everyone looks great. Derek Harmon is the best first-round rookie ever. Caleb Johnson is going to be the next Barry Sanders. All the rookies look great. Everyone looks great. T.J. Watt and Cam Hayward all look like they're in their early 20s. It's great.
It was funny how last year they talked about how great all these receivers looked, and then they were non-existent when the season started.
Which ones? Ben Skoranek?
Jefferson, Van Jefferson.
Now they're gone. Van Jones and Van Jones.
Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah. Now you have DK Metcalf. He's actually good, and and then you have Calvin Austin. He's the fastest man in the NFL,
History of the NFL, I think.
Yeah, Roman Wilson. He's still at the roster,
Roman Wilson. I mean, that's the unknown. That's the great unknown.
Yeah,
we don't know anything about it. Apparently, he was healthy last year in Week 12, and they failed to activate him because they didn't know what to do with him. They did the same thing with Austin his rookie year.
Can't believe Rodgers hasn't brought his friends over. Lazard, Cobb. I mean, Adams. Why aren't they?
Well, Cobb, I think, is retired. Adams is Seattle,
finally.
I think. He signed somewhere.
Oh, that's right. I can't believe he didn't bring his buddies over.
Lazard's still under.
Maybe he could bring Donald Driver out of retirement. Greg Jennings. Yeah.
Antonio Freeman. I didn't have those. Those were Favre guys, weren't they?
That was Favre, yeah. Who's the tight end with the weird name? Who knows?
Shimura.
Mark Shimura. That was Favre. That was early 90s, mid-90s. God almighty, you're old. But so is Rodgers. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this team. I mean, their leading passer, rusher, and receiver from last year, all gone, and they don't know how to handle offense to begin with. All the money's on the wrong side of the ball. That side of the ball is getting older. And even though they do have a good defense, if they do get to the playoffs, it never stops anybody. So what's the point?
You almost have to hope, like if you're going to sit and root for this team, you have to hope, number one, Rodgers goes rogue, and that there's enough talent there that he can do that and be successful with it. Because there's a lot of unknown. Like we look at these guys and we laugh at them. And, we laugh at Austin and Wilson and some of these other guys.
Though.
Grandpa, Robert Woods. Yeah, we laugh at those guys. But if Rodgers can get them into some sort of system, they've not played in a legitimate offense. They've played in this garbage that's been spewed out there from Mike Tomlin and whatever puppet offensive coordinator he has out there to make it happen. So Rodgers almost has to go rogue. That really, I think, to me, that's the only chance you have to win a playoff game. I think you can get to the playoffs with the nonsense. They got to the playoffs last year with the nonsense. Although I wonder, because didn't they get to the playoffs by like one game?
Yeah.
So if Wilson doesn't go rogue against Cincinnati and they end up losing that game, does that keep them out of the playoffs?
The worst defense in the league.
But still, they scored 40 points.
They did.
But Cincinnati scored that many points.
Yes, and Rodgers.
It's not like it was a blowout.
That's true. And Rodgers knows the Jets because he just played for them, and they're as dysfunctional as it gets. I don't think Justin Fields is the answer, so maybe that's a win. And then the best quarterback in football, week 2, Sam Darnold. That'll be tough. But and then they get New England, Drake May and Mike Vrabel, the next AFC champions. So I don't know. It could be like last year. It's a relatively easy start, then tough later on. We'll see. Will Rodgers start every game? I highly doubt it.
I mean, if he's healthy, he will. It's just a matter of whether he's going to be healthy. They won't bench him. I mean, no matter how frustrated Tomlin gets with him, which I'm sure is going to happen because, we've said it time and time again. If he gets called into the office and said, hey, you can't do that, he's going to be like, I'm doing whatever I want.
I don't think Tomlin will call out, or Rodgers won't call out Tomlin during the week like on the McAfee show. He does respect him. Now, maybe that's from afar. Maybe that once he gets to work with him, he won't. I don't know if he respects Arthur Smith. Why would anyone? But, I don't know. I mean,
it all depends on how much he cares. Like, I guess if this is going to be his last year, maybe he's just there to get the paycheck.
And you mentioned Favre. It is amazing. Their careers are almost identical. Win with Green Bay, but not win as much as you thought they would. Put up a lot of numbers with Green Bay.
Would Favre win 2 with Green Bay?
1.
Just
Same
1?
with Rodgers. And then they go to the Jets. They're both awful because the Jets are just a garbage fire and have been for 50 years. And then Favre went to the Vikings and had a great year. So Rodgers, this could be his Minnesota. They won 9 games last year or 10 games with an awful offense. I think their offense could be a little better this year. So it wouldn't shock me if they won 9, 10 games. It wouldn't shock me if they won 6 or 7.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he's got to have a little freedom because he likes things done his own way. Like when they tried to adjust that, when LaFleur tried to make those changes, do that motion and everything, he wanted no parts of that.
He always hated motion, even when he was young.
Right. So you've got to appease him if you want to get the most out of him. He's sort of simplistic with his offense, not nearly as simple as what the Steeler offense is. But you have to have a decent running game, and the line has to be able to block for him. We joked about how mobile he is. He's not.
No.
He can barely move back there. So you've got to have a line that can block for him, and that's been an issue. They've just not been able to block for this offense, I think more so than anything else, because nobody coming from college, nobody plays this offense outside of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they have no experience doing this, and a lot of it is just sort of improvised, it seems like, from play to play. There's not a set plan going into a game necessarily. So you've got to sort of prep for that and prepare for that. Rodgers always had a pretty quick release.
Yes.
So as long as somebody's open, and Metcalf, you're kind of hoping will be, somebody's got to establish themselves on the other side of that field just so you're not double and triple teaming DK Metcalf. Freiermuth's got to stay healthy. That's going to be a play. There are things, there are dominoes that need to fall into place. But then you've got to start looking at the defense. And you said it. They're older and they're expensive. So you've got a bunch of over-the-hill expensive players on that defense. Can they hold up through the course of the season? The last few years they have. They've just broken down in the playoffs, and they get blown out in playoff games. Now, you're playing better talent in the playoffs as well. And like you said, an easy start to the season. So there's a chance they could be 3-0 once the season begins, which is probably where they need to be if they have any hope of getting to the playoffs, because it's going to even out as it moves through. You start looking at this Watt situation, and, do you give Watt $41 million? Well, there's a big difference between $41 million spread over 2 years and $41 million spread over 5 years. Like, these contracts that they're giving out, it's not the money necessarily, it's the length. Because you're stuck with these guys. They're cap hits, and they're going to be around. They're not going to leave early. They're not going to retire. They're not taking hometown discounts. They're not doing any of that stuff. So you're stuck with these guys for the foreseeable future. Your top 5 players on the payroll are defensive players. Watt already is number 1. If he gets a raise, it's going to be a bigger gap between him and number 2, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Hayward, Highsmith, Patrick Queen. Those are your top 5, and then Rodgers is 6. So most of your money is tied up in older players. The first 5 of them are on the defensive side of the football. That's the thing. Like, you can look and say, okay, we'll give them this. We got Rodgers. We'll try to win a Super Bowl. We'll go from there. Okay, that's all well and good, but Rodgers is going to walk at the end of the year. You're going to have no answer at quarterback, and you've got these other 5 guys locked up for the next 4 or 5 years. That's the problem. There's never a chance to reload, restock, have some extra money, go out and try to entice people to come here, because you're on the hook for 30% of your salary on 5 guys for the foreseeable future. That's the issue, I think, with Watt and this money. It's not necessary. It's not even Watt. It's not a Watt thing. It's not a money thing. It's not even a year thing. The problem is you have 4 other guys that are making way too much money for way too long. If Watt would have been first, maybe not that big of a deal. But now, when you look at what you got tied up in the other 4, and then you're going to throw $41 million on top of that each year for the next 5, then it's almost insurmountable to try to improve this team, especially on the offensive side of the football. Who can you possibly go out there and get? Plus, you're paying Metcalf a lot for a while, who's not over the hill, but getting there. So what do you bring in? A bunch of rookies, a bunch of draft picks, and do what with them? You cross your fingers and hope they're going to materialize. You're paying this defense like you're ready to win a Super Bowl. You got an offense that can barely beat some of the bottom feeders in the National Football League, and you've got no answer or no plan for quarterback next year.
You're right about that. And with that being said, Doug, or Dave, what's your name? Let's go to Storey Square. Gentlemen, stand by. Here we go. Gentlemen, you're live.
Thanks a lot, Nick. We're live in downtown Uniontown. Storey Square, the summer concert series here on our local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS. Brian Morozak along with Josh Kreisig. Again, the Storey Square Summer Concert Series coming your way every week, brought to you by the Uniontown Redevelopment Authority. Crystal Simmons is the head of the Redevelopment Authority. She's going to join us here in just a moment. Some folks over talking to Crystal right now, getting their tickets punched. We will tell you that the Storey Square Summer Concert brought to you every week by Premier Nissan of Uniontown, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, the Herald Standard, Fayette Launchbox, the Sprouse Insurance Group, and insurance agent David Hughes, Fayette Area Coordinated Transportation, also by Mike Kelly Toyota, First Federal Savings Loan Association of Greene County, Lee's Plumbing, and by A1 Porta-Johns. And the band tonight is 90s Country Outlaws. And Josh, for now, the rain staying away here in downtown Uniontown.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful night. So if you haven't already made plans or you're thinking about coming down, don't let the threat of rain stop you. It's cooler than it has been. There's a nice breeze, and the music's great. And Crystal, we just finally were able to break her away from her fan club. So, Crystal, from the Redevelopment Authority, we're back for Storey Square. Talk to us about it. What's going on?
So far, it's went great. A little warm today, but like you said, as long as the rain subsides, we've gotten plenty of attendance. We have a few new bands this year, so we opened up registration and brought in a few new. Another new thing is we're kind of extending the concerts, but also just holding a special concert for kind of the last show, which will be September 11th. So we will have a show September 4th and September 11th, and that'll be our final one of the year. So looking forward to that. Fret Buzz is going to play.
Nice.
And for September 11th.
Yeah, that's very awesome. Cool. Very cool.
You got plenty of free water for everybody coming down tonight, too.
Yep, which we're very thankful. Lowe's Home Improvement Store here in Uniontown They do a lot for the community. They have a lot of community grants, and I've been learning lately just how involved they are. So they were willing to donate the water, and I think that they're going to donate for the rest of the year.
That's fantastic. And keeping everybody hydrated, as you said, it's been very hot, but this is actually a little bit better than it has been.
Yeah.
There's overcast, there's a little breeze, it's not terrible.
Right?
Come on out.
Right. It is. It's very nice. Come on out. Well, my office air conditioner is down.
Oh, so then it's just,
wow.
oh yeah. So
Yeah, so it's nicer over here.
you're actually getting a little breeze over here. I got you.
And, of course, plenty of sponsors made this possible, including your presenting sponsor this year, Premier Nissan.
Yes, Premier Nissan, they reached out to be the community champion, and it's been great. They've been helping us advertise, and really happy to hear from them to support the event. We had WVU Hospital came through to support the event again this year. You know, they were kind of the originators there with Josh.
Yep.
And your foundation made this event moving forward nice, and several other sponsors. A range of sponsors.
Yeah, we were just running through the list, and it sounds like you got good community support kind of across the board.
Yeah, it was really great. Some comes every year, you know. They look forward to this year, and they want to support the event. So.
Absolutely. So if somebody's coming down tonight, they can stop. And where can they park?
There's parking in the parking garage on Peter Street, and the arm is open, so it's free parking tonight.
Okay, perfect. So they don't have to worry about that. They pull in, they'll be able to get out.
Yep, council approved free parking for the event, so thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, that's awesome. We thank you for that, Mayor.
And, of course, we have the prize wheel and giveaways here as well. Lottery tickets, T-shirts, always popular as well. When you were busy tied up over there on the stage, we had 10 folks coming up here and spinning the wheel. We'll have the wheel up again throughout the course of the evening until 7 o'clock tonight.
They love the wheel.
Yes.
Yeah.
They wait to see that wheel come out.
Absolutely. So, and tell everybody a little bit about this too. What are the stamps? How does that work?
Oh, the stamp cards. So we have, small license-size cards that the patrons carry. They get it punched at each event, and the last day, the last concert of the summer, which might actually be the September 4th concert, because there's probably going to be a lot going on in September 11th. They bring the card, and if they have a certain amount of stamps, they can vote on baskets. So people around the area will donate baskets. Last year it was a big hit. Such cool baskets.
That's awesome.
And you have 6 stamps, then you get to vote on the 6 stamp basket. If you have all of them, then you can go in the big drawing.
Very good. That's very cool. So it's a way to get people engaged, get them involved, and actually you have a chance to win a nice prize.
Yeah, there was a really nice prizes. And, even at this event with WMBS doing the wheel, you never know what you're going to get.
Correct.
That's right.
And we had somebody down there a couple of years ago won $500 on a lottery ticket.
No way.
Yes,
you got lottery tickets now?
Yeah, we got them here. We got them.
We will be
come
spinning
on
soon.
down.
That's right. Well, Crystal, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we appreciate you having us.
Yeah, we like to have you here.
Yeah, that's Crystal Simmons from the Uniontown Redevelopment Authority. Again, Josh and I here until 7 o'clock tonight. Stop it out and say hello. We'll check in again right after the 6 o'clock news. We'll send it back to the studio for more of the Sports Voice with Dave Dunaway here on your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS.
WMPS.
You just keep us on hold with the string. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Franco's also offers full custom club fitting and repairs by certified club fitter Greg Franco. Franco's is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Give Franco's a call at 724-438-6651.
If you're ready for a dental makeover or in need of basic dental care, the office of Dr. Mark Rabatin is right for you. Dr. Rabatin uses the latest advancement in the industry to achieve comprehensive care that will preserve your smile for years to come by providing general dentistry services. Call today to schedule your appointment at their modern office located in the Fayette Business Park, 724-437-4991 for the fine art of dentistry.
Welcome back to the Sports Voice. Well, it sounds like there's a great time to be had at Storey Square. If you're looking for something to do throughout the night, the guys I know are still there till 7. I'm sure they'll probably check back in, hopefully, at least one more time before the end of the hour. They made a reference, which I didn't get. I was so concentrated and focused on the Aaron Rodgers thing, the meltdown thing. If you want to know, you have to come to the golf outing on Saturday, and I'll tell you the story. You might actually see it in action as well, but I'll tell you the story on Saturday. So if you're at the golf outing, Duck Hollow, come find me, ask me to tell you the story. I'm sure Brian will tell you the story whether I want to tell it or not, but I'll tell you the story on that.
You're telling me I'm your co-host. Can I know? Do I have to go to the golf outing?
No, but because I heard a story and you didn't really tell me much about it, so I'm hoping that we get some of this out of you. So for those of you that didn't know this, Nick and some of his buddies from school, they decided a little while ago, without even telling me, they were going to go to the George Pickens football camp because they like the Steelers, they like Pickens, they have dreams of being football players when they grow up too. So they wanted to go and learn from the best. So they put their Steeler jerseys on, they get their little footballs and their cleats and their helmets, and they get in the car, and one of their moms takes them over to this camp, and they get out of the car and they start to head down, and they start asking, "Where's George Pickens?" Well, the thing is, George Pickens was traded in the offseason to the Dallas Cowboys, and apparently he forgot that he used to be a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know how he forgot that. He's been bashing them every chance he gets, but he canceled his appearance. Which was going to be actually this Saturday was when it was going to be. I don't know why they were going a couple of days ago. That probably was part of the problem as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they were going to camp out. Nick will tell us what the plan was.
Uh-huh.
But it's sort of hard, I would think, for George Pickens to cancel an appearance at the George Pickens Youth Football Camp. I mean, it's named for him. Don't you kind of have to be there to make that happen? But families were not offered a refund. They will receive refunds for the cost of a Pickens autograph.
Oh.
So, you'll at least get the signature, I guess, Nick, when it's all said and done. And he'll be replaced by Pat Freiermuth. Hopefully no concussions happen to Freiermuth at this thing. So you be careful with him.
Yeah.
Because the Steelers need him through the season. He might be the legit number 2 receiver. So
he will be.
I don't know if you're still planning on going to this or not, but definitely, I know you're disappointed, despite why you didn't tell me about it. But, you get that chance, you're going to meet your hero, and he just cancels on you because he lives in Dallas now.
Yeah, you live and learn. And, I guess I'll have to fly to Dallas. Maybe CeeDee Lamb has a camp. Maybe they have one with Pickens. I don't know. It's so disappointing, Dave. And between the Bucco Bricks debacle and this, it's been a rough couple of months.
How do you make this announcement on Wednesday?
I don't know.
I get it. If he'd have done it way back and said, okay, look, I'm not here anymore. I can't be there. I'm in Dallas. You make it 3 days, 4 days.
Yeah, give him a break.
3 days.
3 days.
3 days before this
3
thing
whole days.
happen.
Yeah, give him a break, Dave. Come on. I don't know what to make of this story. Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, it is kind of wacky, but he's not the Steelers' issue anymore. He certainly had character issues.
I know it puts him in a bad spot with, obviously, the receiving core, but man, this might be a blessing in disguise if they found somebody to take him.
They try to make him a number 1. He's not. Now he's a number 2 in Dallas, and now the Steelers, I think, have a legitimate 1 in DK Metcalf. So, yeah, between I don't think he was ever meant to be a 1 and some of his shenanigans. Throwing the guy down in the Dallas game, going into the stands in Cleveland. He was just a mess.
Yeah. So just add one maybe last thing. I'm sure he'll still rip the Steelers apart every time the microphone's in his face. But outside of things he could destroy in Pittsburgh.
Now we can go to Dallas, and they're going to win 5-6 games this year, so good for him.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be an upgrade over what they had, but I just can't see that team going anywhere.
No.
With or without him. He'll be more of an issue when Lamb's catching balls and he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like he's the ultimate team player there. So.
Jerry Jones, Schottenheimer, who was hired on the cheap, and Dak, who's like the 20th best quarterback in the league. So have fun with that.
Well, I'll tell you this. This is the last year of the contract for Pickens. He better behave himself at least a little bit if he wants anybody to take a chance on him.
Oh, absolutely.
I know there's a ton of talent, but the stuff that goes on in addition to that, a lot of times makes it not worth it.
Yeah, I don't see it working out. Basically, of all the Steelers who left this offseason, I think Najee's going to have the best season with his new team. Chargers, I think, are going to be really good.
Yeah, but they brought Dobbins back,
and
they drafted him. So I'm curious.
Loaded. They're loaded.
But Harbaugh loves to run.
He does.
And I know he wants
Herbert can't win a playoff game with this roster.
Well, he wants to make sure Herbert doesn't get killed back there, too. So it could be – I'm curious how they're going to use those running backs.
Yeah, it should be fun, yeah.
But Harbaugh's smart and knows how to win.
Yeah.
No matter what level
Tough
he's
division. Got to beat the Chiefs, and Sean Payton.
Right.
And Pete Carroll. That division's loaded.
Absolutely. Yeah, it should be interesting to watch. So we'll obviously have a ton of football to talk about as we get through the next month. Only, a month away, and we got camp opening at St. Vincent.
Aaron Rodgers will be in the dorm in a month. Can't wait.
Yeah, with the big helmet, and everybody will be talking about how great he is. There you go.
Wow. What will be his first complaint about the Steelers to Pat McAfee in about a month and a half when they actually start working together?
Probably when the media reports that he's not actually staying in the dorm, that he has a hotel somewhere.
He has a hotel in Latrobe.
He has a hotel in Egypt that he's flying in from every day.
Yeah. He can't smuggle ayahuasca into the dorms at St. Vincent. They're weird about that there.
Well, remember, Antonio Brown didn't stay in the dorm.
That's true.
So chances are Aaron Rodgers won't be.
Rodgers
either.
actually won something. Well, AB did too on Brady's wings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Brady won it, and AB was along for the ride.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't that kind of like Rodgers, too? Didn't Mendenhall win it, and Rodgers was just along for the ride?
I mean, come on. Well, I guess. That's true, but Rodgers is, come on.
That's one of those infamous memories that'll live forever in Steeler history.
That's it. Rashard Mendenhall.
The only one he's won. Everybody thought, this was going to be the start of,
like Favre. They only won one. Yeah, he had 3 MVPs, though, which is all that matters to him.
Right. Yeah, I didn't realize Favre. I thought Favre had a couple. I was surprised when you said that. He only has one. So.
Google it. I'm not wrong.
No, I don't disagree with you. I believe you.
I'm an expert on 90s NFL, Dave.
So moving on to other sports, the NHL will have the first round of their draft tomorrow. The Pittsburgh Penguins pick back-to-back 11th and 12th.
Wow.
They didn't originally have the 12th pick. That's part of a deal that was made that involved Vancouver and the Rangers with J.T. Miller, and also the deal the Penguins made with Vancouver with Marcus Pettersson. Somehow the Penguins managed to acquire this pick from the Rangers. It was a conditional first-round pick either in the 2025 draft or 26 draft. The Rangers had the opportunity to choose which year. The Rangers, with the 12th pick, chose to give that pick to the Penguins and take their chances on whatever pick they'll have next year. Now, to me, that tells me one of two things. Either, number one, they're not sold on Mike Sullivan turning the team around, or number two, next year's draft looks better. Either way, the Penguins end up with pick 12. So when you go through it, it's hard to really talk about who could potentially be there. I've been looking at a lot of potential mock drafts and listening to guys the Penguins would love to be there. We know the first overall pick is going to be Matthew Schaefer, the defenseman from Erie of the OHL, which maybe not the most exciting. It's not like Bedard or Celebrini. This is like a Rasmus Dahlin draft where you're drafting a defenseman first overall and going to the Islanders of all places. Now, this Michael Misa, the forward from Saginaw, that's supposed to be maybe a game changer, another great offensive player going to the San Jose Sharks. If they decide to take him at 2, there's talk they might trade. There's talk a lot of teams might trade. There's talk the Penguins might trade, potentially up even into maybe the 3 spot to take this Anton Frondell or Brady Martin, one of those players. So when you start taking a look at it, it's very hard to predict. It always is in the National Hockey League. The name that's intrigued me the most, not because I think the Penguins need him in any way, but defenseman Jackson Smith from Tri-City of the WHL, who's committed to Penn State. He will not be with the NHL team next year. He'll be playing at Penn State. But it's intriguing because he's close. They'll be able to watch him, and maybe it'll help to elevate him a little sooner into the NHL. The Penguins are going to try to infuse some younger players into these lines as we make our way into next season. It's the start of a rebuild. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot happen this year, probably more the year after when Malkin's contract's up and you start to see a real changing of the guard there. But there are rumors that Erik Karlsson could be traded tomorrow. There are rumors that Rickard Raquel could be traded tomorrow. So definitely stay tuned. There's a lot in the works to get these young players onto this roster. They've got to get some of the veteran players off of it. Karlsson has a limited trade Apparently, he's willing to waive it if he goes to a contender. Raquel had a limited trade last year, doesn't have it anymore, so they can trade him wherever they want if they decide to make that move tomorrow. So we could see an infusion of young talent coming to Pittsburgh by more than just the draft over the next couple of weeks. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm going to switch over to Nick Barczyk now. He's going to tell you all about the NBA draft. We saw the first round happen last night. Cooper Flagg, the no-brainer. Boy, Dallas, would they have like a 1% chance to get the first pick in the draft? They end up getting rid of their best player, Luka Doncic, probably in the history of that franchise, and now they end up with a potential game changer in Cooper Flagg. Were you excited? Were you cheering and happy when they made that move?
I was thrilled. I mean, the Mavericks are, come on, they should be rewarded for trading away their best player maybe ever outside of Dirk Nowitzki. But, Cooper Flagg, obvious number one. Don't have to be an NBA expert like me to know that. Ace Bailey got drafted as well, who I think refused to work out for anyone, so good for him. That's a good reward for him.
But he goes to Utah.
Yeah.
So
Salt Lake
he'll
City.
be lost in the shuffle
there,
there, probably where he deserves to be.
A lot of Dookies in the top 10. Knippel was one.
Yeah.
And the other guy whose name escapes me, even though I am this basketball
Yeah,
expert.
I know. For the guru that you are.
I'm still overwhelmed by Game 7 Sunday night. I know that's going to upset someone in the building talking about it, but the Thunder are the world champions. SGA Shai is the MVP of the league, of the finals, and won the scoring title.
Nothing shy about that.
No, you're right about that.
Yeah.
So hopefully Indiana will be back next year. T.J. McConnell couldn't win it all, the local boy, the Char Valley boy. But it was a great game, great series. But, Thunder win, and the draft's going on now. And you never know, Dave.
Trades in the draft.
Next Michael Jordan might be drafted tonight. You never know.
They trade them as soon as they pick them. Like, you'll see a guy get drafted.
Yeah.
He goes up, puts the hat on.
Yep.
And he's standing there doing the interview in the hat. And the announcers are saying, from what we understand, he's just been traded to. But he's got the other hat on still.
Well, it's a hat switch. You're like we're recruiting.
By the way, Stephen A. Smith is phenomenal. I know there are people that don't like him. I know there are people that do like him.
I'm one of the ones that don't.
At least he's entertaining. Like, he just screams and yells for the entire time that he's on there.
You find that entertaining to be yelled at for 3 hours?
I was entertained. I just laugh.
You watched
it. He makes
it?
me laugh.
You actually watched it?
I had it on for a little bit.
Wow. Good for you.
So I do watch a little bit of college basketball, so I knew some of these guys. Like, I know Ron Harper's kid.
Yeah, of course.
Still went second. So, that Philadelphia surprised me because everyone thought they were going to draft Bailey, but they didn't because he refused to work out for them. Now, he refused to work out for everybody, but I kind of liked that. Like, I didn't know the kid. I don't watch Baylor, so I didn't know the kid that they drafted, but I was impressed by the fact that they wanted to say, hey, we're probably a better team than what you're going to get in Utah. You refuse to come play for us. I mean, Philadelphia's issue was injuries all year. They had guys that were Embiid he missed half the season, and then the kid they drafted last year from Duke, the first McCain, he got hurt. He looked good,
look at you,
and then got hurt partway through. So
he should do the NBA roundup segment going forward.
That's okay. I want to leave that for you.
Okay.
But no, I watched some of it. I didn't watch it all. I didn't watch it straight. So maybe that's why I was a little more entertained by Stephen A. But no, I watched at least the early picks. I knew most of them. So we have round 2 happening tonight. That you saw get knocked out in one day. Now it's 2 days.
Got to spread it out.
Yes. So we'll see who gets picked. A lot of the freshmen, like those one and dones, they get picked on the first day. If they don't think they're going on the first day, they just go back to school.
Yeah.
This is where you see the juniors and seniors. And some of the overseas guys got picked last night as well. So, yeah, I mean, in the end, not a ton of huge trades that took place, although Kevin Durant got traded before the draft. But a lot of trades that happen with picks throughout the draft as it goes. So NBA draft, 1 day in the books, day 2 today. NHL, day 1 on Friday, and then day 2 on Saturday. Breaking news from Major League Baseball. If you remember Wander Franco, who got a ton of money from Tampa Bay, he was found guilty today of sexual abuse of a minor in the Dominican Republic for an illegal relationship with a 14-year-old girl when he was 21. He received a 2-year prison sentence, according to the sources that we have. So won't be seeing him for a little while. In addition to that, the National Football League suspended Justin Tucker. Now, Tucker's not currently with a team. He was the kicker for the Baltimore Ravens. They released him when allegations came out involving him at a massage parlor, just like Deshaun Watson and others. So if a team does decide to sign him, he has a 10-game suspension. They'll have to hang on to him for 10 games before he is able to play. A lot of sources coming out with stuff from the NBA draft and Ace Bailey. This could be the probably toxic name that we hear for quite a while in the National Basketball Association. Apparently the NHL and the NHLPA are close to a 4-year collective bargaining extension. They're talking about some kind of World Cup. So there's a lot of other things that are happening as well out there. In addition, the Pirates, we'll see what happens. They got the Mets coming up next over the weekend at home. That is all the time we have for this week's edition of the Sports Voice. I see the sun outside. Head to Storey Square if you're not there right now, and we'll have Brian and Josh checking in for another hour. They'll be there until 7. Make sure you listen to me next Thursday, 4:15 to 6.
Bogey's Restaurant at Duck Hollow Golf Club is open for the season. Check out Bogey's Refresh 2025 menu. Bogey's is now open 7 days a week. Monday and Tuesday, 4 to 9 p.m. Wednesday through Saturday from 2 to 9 p.m. and on Sundays, 1 to 5. The golf season is also here with the Pro Shop open daily from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Golf 18 with a cart Monday through Friday for $39. The rate for 18 in a cart on Saturdays and Sundays is $49. Seniors 55 and over can play 18 with a cart during the week for just $30. You can purchase a special card that includes 20 18-hole rounds of golf with a card for $660. That breaks down to just $33 a round, a savings of $16 off weekend fees. Looking at starting a golf league? Duck Hollow has league openings on Mondays and Fridays. Stop by the Pro Shop for more details. Bogey's Restaurant in Duck Hollow Golf Course. Call 724-880-9082 for golf tee times or for restaurant information today. Check out Duck Hollow on Facebook for weekly specials.
This is your local station, 590 and 101.1 W266 DB WMBS Uniontown, 87 degrees, sunny outside of our Davis & Davis studios. CBS News, local news, and more check-ins next hour with Brian and Josh at Storey Square on your local station, WMBS, at 6 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Senators got a classified briefing today on the U.S. strikes against Iran's nuclear program. They had very different assessments coming out of it. Republican Lindsey Graham.
It was bold, it was necessary, and it was effective. They blew these places up in a major league way.
Democrat Chris Murphy.
We have only set back the Iranian nuclear program by a handful of months. There's no doubt there was damage done.
Earlier at the Pentagon, there was a briefing to discuss the outcome. Linda Kenyon has that.
Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane described the attack.
All 6 weapons at each vent at Fordo went exactly where they were intended to go.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth then attacked a reporter for asking if Iran had moved the enriched uranium off-site.
You've been about the worst. The one who misrepresents the most intentionally.
Secretary Hegseth also accused the media of hatred.
Your people are trying to leak and spin.
An independent full damage assessment of the bombings has not been conducted. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
A divided Supreme Court said today states can block Planned Parenthood from receiving Medicaid money for health services. The court was weighing in on a South Carolina case. Planned Parenthood's Martha Speaker.
South Carolinians who are enrolled in Medicaid ultimately may no longer be able to use their coverage at Planned Parenthood South Atlantic for things like birth control, cancer screenings, STI testing and treatment, and other critical preventative health care.
Robert F. Kennedy's Vaccine Advisory Committee has endorsed fall flu vaccinations, but only if they're free of an ingredient that anti-vaccine groups have falsely tied to autism. CBS's Alexander Tin has that.
The committee's move earned criticism from medical groups that denounced the panel for bypassing the usual evidence reviews by CDC career officials and ignored objections that there is no evidence thimerosal is causing harm after decades of research into the preservative.
Award-winning journalist Bill Moyers has died. Correspondent Peter King looks back at his long career.
We first met Bill Moyers as the campaign aide, then press secretary to President Lyndon Johnson, as he described it for the Archive of American and television.
I was his man Friday. I wrote letters. I wrote speeches.
Moyer's post-White House career brought him here to CBS as a commentator and correspondent, later to PBS, where he hosted and produced hundreds of programs dealing with subjects from politics to aging.
There are 76 million of us in what the noted educator Sarah Lawrence Lightfoot calls the third chapter.
Peter King, CBS News.
Moyers was 91 years old. On Wall Street today, the Dow finished up 404 points. This is CBS News.
Brian Morozak and Josh Kreisig.
For all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The local district.
Brian Morozak and Josh Kreisig back live in Storey Square, downtown Uniontown. The Storey Square Summer Concert Series brought to you by the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Uniontown. And I guess we're not ready yet, Josh.
Today, find the primary care center close to you. And now to the news.
Actually, we'll get to the news in just a bit. It's 6:03 and 85 degrees, but right now we go live to Storey Square with Brian and Josh. John?
Thanks a lot, Nick. Brian Morozak along with Josh Kreisig. We're live the Storey Square Summer Concert Series here on your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM. WMBS brought to you by the Uniontown Redevelopment Authority. Their presenting sponsor, Premier Nissan. And Josh, the weather actually hasn't turned out to be that bad. We have a little sprinkle falling right now, but it's also sunny out.
I know.
So I'm sure there's probably a rainbow somewhere.
There probably is. Underneath our tent, there's no rainbow, but it's not too bad. We had overcast skies for probably an hour, roughly, and a little breeze kind of cooled things off. The sun did come back out, and when the sun came out, as you said, it also started to sprinkle, which is bizarre. But we love the bazaar here.
Yes.
And we've been having a good time. We've had dozens of folks come through, spin the fabulous WMBS prize wheel, giving out all kinds of stuff. And the music has been good all night. These guys they are the 90s country outlaws, and they definitely are pretty good. I'm not a huge country guy, but I don't mind it.
No, it's been very enjoyable to listen to. We had a steady stream at our prize wheel for pretty much the last time we were on the air with you during the Sports Voice with Dave Dunaway. Until now, the folks have been lining up, spinning the prize. We had to put it down here for a couple of minutes while we're here live on the air, but we're going to be here at least another hour or so until 7 o'clock tonight. And then Matt Sapienza and CJ DeStefano will be back here next week. We'll also be live down here on both the 17th and the 31st of July, and here a couple of times in August and for the final show in September as well. So certainly plenty of an opportunity to come out and see us here at the Storey Square Summer Concert Series, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, you're going to be able to come down. This is a free concert. You bring your chair, set up in the grass. You're going to get to hear good music, enjoy an evening outside. They got you all set up. They have Lowe's this year providing all this water. They've got water for you. You don't even have to bring anything to drink. You're hydrated. You're covered all the way around. You got us coming here on and off throughout the year. You're going to have the prize wheel. But tonight's the night. If you still haven't settled on your plans for the evening, they're going to be here for another hour and a half. You can get down here and enjoy a nice evening.
Yeah, concert series going on until 7:30 tonight with the 90s Country Outlaws. Josh and I here until 7 o'clock, so stop on down and say hello. You can actually get your ticket stamped as well, which allows you to win an opportunity to get a nice prize pack here at the end of the Storey Square Summer Concert Series as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. So if you get one of these concert tickets from the folks that run this, from the Redevelopment Authority and Crystal Simmons here, they will stamp them each week that you're here. And then they take those at the end of the year, and as many stamps as you get, that gives you a chance to enter into a raffle, essentially, for various prize baskets of varying degrees of amazing amazement. So it sounded pretty cool. It sounds like a fun way to engage and come down. But, yeah, Brian and I have been having a nice night, really talking to a lot of the folks that listen to the station, giving out a lot of WMBS swag. We got people that specifically wanted T-shirts, and we've seen people in our T-shirts, which we love to see. And, this is what it's all about on a nice summer evening.
We'll send it back to Nick for the local district and statewide news. And Josh, now we'll check back with you a couple more times here in the 6 o'clock hour on your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS.
The local district with primary care centers in Uniontown, Carmichaels, Connellsville, and Scottdale. It's easy to find care close to home. Visit WVUmedicine.com/Uniontown today to find the primary care center close to you. And now to the news.
Good evening, 6:07 on this Thursday, 85 degrees with sun outside of our Davis studios. Davis attorneys at law voted Fayette County's best law firm 2024, your local station, WMBS. More on the Weather Watch and sports in just a bit. More work is said to be done on multiple Fayette County trails, and the Fayette County commissioners had their meeting today. Here's what went down. 2 bridges are said to be built along the Sheepskin Trail Uniontown section. Fayette County Commissioner Scott Dunn and Harry Kaufman at Thursday's business meeting agreed to work with the Ohio Bridge Corporation for 2 bridges that will cost over $117,300. K2 Engineering will conduct inspection work of the Dunlap Creek Park Trail at $85 an hour. Commissioner Kaufman on what his priorities are for the Sheepskin Trail.
From my understanding, the money is not coming out of the county coffers, it's grants, etc. And of course, in a lot of the land we have either purchased or we've traded off with PennDOT. There's things going on with that. So, no, I'm full tilt with the sheepskin. I think it brings a lot of commerce and a lot of opportunities into the county. So we're going to go ahead with it.
The commissioners also advertised bids for construction of the Mill Run Park Trail. The board also agreed to continue working with Zelenkovsky Axelrod LLC for audits of fact. Fayette Area Coordinated Transportation at $107,130 for the next fiscal year. Also announced was an opening on the Fayette County Health Center Authority. Anyone interested can contact the Chief Clerk of Fayette County, Amy Liston, at AListon, that's ALISTON, at FayettePA.org by July the 10th. It was the first meeting Thursday for new Commissioner Harry Dutch Kaufman. Kaufman had a message for Fayette County residents.
I'm here. I mean, if they need to contact me, I'm here. I'm a full-time commissioner. I have given my notice, and I'm no longer with my pharmacy. But I did a 2 weeks notice with them. But I was down here working every day or every minute in between, just to get everything in gear. But I'm here for you. I mean, and I'm going to do the best I can to make our county even better.
Kaufman also touched on what his goals are in office.
I am reaching out, working with everybody in the county, all the department heads, and all the different departments that we're involved with, other CYS, et cetera, behavioral health. So it's a lot coming on. I've been here 5 weeks now, and we're starting to get everything together. And Barry's helping me out a lot as our chief deputy with all 3 commissioners at this point.
Kaufman replaces Dave Lohr, who recently resigned. Commissioner Vince Facides was absent from the meeting Thursday due to a personal matter. Nick Barczyk, WMBS. The Pennsylvania Turnpike expects a busy travel period heading into the 4th of July weekend. Officials say nearly 6 million people will be traveling on the Turnpike Friday through Sunday, July 6th. That's an expected increase of over 3% compared to last year during the same 10-day period. Officials say the busiest day will be tomorrow with an estimated 725,000 people on the roads. All construction and maintenance will be suspended from 5 a.m. Friday through July 6th at 11 in the evening. Authorities and state police will have increased patrols throughout the weekend and the 10-day period into next 4th of July weekend. And researchers are working to turn a deadly fungus into a potent cancer-fighting compound.
According to a study published in the journal Nature, researchers at the University of Pennsylvania recently used Aspergillus flavus after isolating a new class of molecules from it in a test against leukemia cells, and it resulted in those cells being killed. Aspergillus flavus is a toxic crop fungus. It's been linked to deaths in the excavation of ancient tombs. Researchers say the next step is to test those compounds on animals, with hope of one day moving to human clinical trials. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Sports and weather next on WMBS.
Your health is more than just how you feel today. It's about staying well for the years ahead. At WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Primary Care, we're here to help you manage your health with regular checkups, screenings, and care that's tailored to you. With locations in Uniontown, Carmichaels, Connellsville, and Scottdale, it's easy to find care close to home. Visit wvumedicine.org/Uniontown today to find the primary care provider who is right for you.
In sports, the NHL draft gets underway tomorrow night. The Penguins have the 11th and 12th overall picks, while the NBA draft wraps up with the second round this evening. In baseball, Pirates are off tonight after losing 2 out of 3 to the Brewers. They take on the Mets at PNC Park tomorrow night, and that game gets underway at 6:40, pregame at 6:15 with Mitch Keller on the mound on WMBS. Now the weather watch for all of southwest Pennsylvania. Heat advisory through 8 p.m. Friday for the listening area. Overnight low tonight down to 70. Chance of thunderstorms on Friday going up to 87, 86 with some rain and thunderstorms lingering Saturday afternoon, overnight low down to 66. Chance of afternoon showers Sunday at 88. Clouds and sun Monday to begin the work week, warming up to 88, 82 on Tuesday with thunderstorms likely, and sunny Wednesday at 83. So the 90s look to be over with for the most part after this afternoon, where we did reach 90 again. But right now we update the weather bug outside of our Davis & Davis studios. We're at 83 degrees with some sun at 6:13 on this Thursday evening, and good evening from the Davis & Davis studios at WMBS. I'm Nick Barczyk. And throughout the hour, more check-ins with Brian and Josh at Storey Square. That's on the way next at your local station, 590 and 101.1 WMBS. Good evening.
The local district and statewide news was brought to you by the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, with primary care centers in Uniontown, Carmichael, Connellsville, and Scottsdale. It's easy to find care close to home. Visit WVUmedicine.com/Uniontown today to find the primary care center close to you.
Warm weather is here, and with it, the incredible farmers markets of Fayette County, providing the freshest selection of seasonal produce and a whole lot more, including handcrafted soaps, candles, bread, sweet treats, jewelry, canned goods, and wine. Literally something for everyone. Put your health, wellness, and happiness first by visiting an area farmers market this week.
Hey, you guys there? Brian? Hello.
WNBS.
Hey, just checking in for checking.
For professional cleaning services, Clean and Shine in New Stanton is the place for you. They provide commercial and residential cleaning, porter services, carpet cleaning, stripping and waxing, construction cleanup, and car cleaning. For more information on free estimates or hiring, call 724-691-0413. Email info@cleanandshine14.org.
You got me? Brian.
We're here.
Okay, sorry about that. Hey, the phone wasn't set up. We're in the break.
Okay. You want to count us down or let us know?
I'm going to put you on hold, you guys, before you hear.
What's the last break in the stop set? How much time, Jerome?
I think a minute after this spot. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1.
Brian Rozak and Josh Kryzik live in Storey Square, downtown Uniontown. The Storey Square Summer Concert Series here on our local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WNBS. The concert series going on until 7:30 tonight with 90s Country Outlaws. But going on right now, Josh, a special sneak preview of Shrek by the Main Street Theater Company. It's coming to the State Theater Center for the Performing Arts in July.
Yeah, that was fantastic. So we just had the whole cast come out from their rehearsal inside of the State Theater, come up on stage here in Storey Square and share. They sang I'm a Believer, which is a big song from Shrek. And it was really fun. There's a ton of kids involved. Lots of kids, lots of adults. Everybody's smiling, having a great time, and they sounded really good.
And hopefully a lot of the folks out here that saw the preview will come to the show again coming up in a couple of weeks at the State Theater. They'll have multiple performances, and we'll have some more information next week on the dates and times here on WMBS for Shrek. And actually have a couple of different shows throughout the course of the summer. The Main Street Theater Company always does such a great job every summer with some of the shows that they present.
They really do, and I think that's one of the hidden gems here in Fayette County and in downtown Uniontown that if you haven't taken advantage of, this State Theater right here is a really cool building. They do a lot of really cool stuff. The work that the Main Street Theater Company does is on par with stuff you find in Pittsburgh.
For sure.
We've been here for a couple of plays, my wife and I, and enjoyed all of them. But just coming to the State Theater to see a movie, to do something, they do a lot of events and stuff. It's always a fun time, and it's a really unique, nice building. It's worth making the time to stop by.
And again, that show coming up in the month of July, 90s Country Outlaws back on the stage now. And again, they'll be performing until 7:30 tonight. Josh and I live here at the Prize Will until 7 o'clock tonight. To stop on down and say hello. Matt Sapienza and TJ DeStefano will be here next week, and we'll also be here on the 17th and 31st of July as well.
Yeah, and as we said, it's turned out to be a beautiful night. There was no rain, really. We had a tiny sprinkle, but the sun was out while it did it. The temperature has kind of calmed down a little bit. I'd say we're somewhere in the mid-80s. We're not pushing mid-90s like we were. And the music has been really good, and the 90s Country Outlaws are going to be coming back on here in the next little bit and rocking for another hour. You'll have me and Brian here. We'll be doing one more check-in here in a little bit. But you're good until 7:30. So if you haven't stopped down, if you're close by, there's still plenty of time to come down, bring a lawn chair, enjoy some time out in the evening, and have a nice night and enjoy this music. So
I'm going to send it back to Jerome for now. And again, Josh and I back one final time here before the top of the hour on your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS.
We're clear.
So you a 650, Jerome?
Sounds good.
All right, thanks.
WMBS.
Hey, just calling back.
Yeah, I got you in the break right now. I think the last spot is Founders Day.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to put you on hold, okay?
Hey, yep.
Honor. It is easy to join. Stop by the Recorder of Deeds office at the Fayette County Courthouse or visit us online at FayetteCountyRecorderofDeeds.com/veteran-ID-program. Support our heroes. Support our community.
If you are looking for a trusted local law firm with a strong commitment to their clients, look no further than Zebley Law Offices. Attorney Zebley has been practicing law in Fayette County for more than 4 decades. Although specializing in bankruptcy, Zebley also handles real estate matters, civil suits, collections, wills, powers of attorney, and more. If you need legal help, go with a name you recognize and trust. Call Zebley Law Offices today at 724-439-9200. Oaks Pizza in downtown Uniontown is your one-stop shop for the most unique pizzas in the region. From the masterminds behind the Fat Angelo's franchise, Oak Pizza is the laboratory where the Fat Angelo's food scientists test their creations and let you be the judge. With traditional favorites like pepperoni and buffalo chicken pizzas to more experimental offerings like the sesame seed-infused Mad Pie or the spicy chicken pickle pizza, Oak has you covered. Order today at oakpizzas.com or by calling 724-439-5805. Your taste buds will thank you.
Celebrate the founding of Uniontown and the United States with the Founding Day Festival with WMBS. The event will be held from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Marshall Park in Uniontown on Saturday, June 28th. Musical attractions include Arnie Amber's Golden Oldies from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and the BMW Band from 2 to 5 p.m. The event will also feature a car show, Kids Zone with inflatables and interactive activities brought to you by Love Fayette. The Uniontown Arts Club participating with booths and displays, horse-drawn Conestoga wagon rides, narrated history trolley rides, Fayette County Historical Society self-guided historic walking tours, and plenty of food trucks and vendors. WMBS will be live at Marshall Park with a live broadcast with Pat Sapienza and Arnie Amber with the prize wheel and giveaways from 12 to 2 p.m. Our coverage of Founding Day is brought to you by Autoland Hyundai, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, Lifetime Awnings, Attorney Melinda Delarose, Foxtrot Mattress and Furniture, State Representative Charity Grim Krupa, Montgomery Medical, and Ford of Uniontown.
Mark your calendar for Saturday, July 5th and head to downtown Brownsville for a full day of music, fun, and fireworks at Brownsville's Riverfest celebration. Live performances by Wisdom, Gary Antol, and regional favorite Metro will keep the energy going all day long. The celebration ends with a fantastic fireworks display lighting the skies over Brownsville. Today is free to attend with lots of great food and drink options available for purchase. For more information, visit Brownsville Riverfest on Facebook. See you there.
Brian Morozak and Josh Kreisig back live, Storey Square in downtown Uniontown, the Storey Square Summer Concert Series here on our local station, WMBS. The 90s Country Outlaws performing until 7:30 tonight. Josh and I here for another 9 minutes or so with the prize wheel and giveaways. And Josh, our prize wheel certainly been busy again tonight.
Yeah, so we spun it so much, Brian. I think the spinner is actually starting to break at the top. So
that's no good.
No. We'll have to get that fixed up before our next remote or take a look at it. But, yeah, I know we've been giving out swag and tickets, lottery stuff all night long. People have been coming over. We had quite a line earlier. And, the country music is really good. They're playing Neon Moon right now. But they've been playing they played a little Vince Gill earlier. They played some Alan Jackson. They played some Travis Tritt. A lot of those 90s classics, which makes sense since they are the 90s Country Outlaws.
Yeah, it's certainly been enjoyable to listen to throughout the course of the evening. And again, next week, Matt Sapienza and TJ DeStefano will be live here at Storey Square in downtown Uniontown. Then we'll be back on the 17th and 31st of July as well. Then back a couple of times in August and September as well. Always fun to hang out at Storey Square in downtown Uniontown.
It is. And as we said, again, if you're walking, you're close by, you still got time to get down here for another 40 minutes or so of some nice live entertainment. And it has turned into quite a nice evening. There's a little breeze. It's overcast. The sun's not beating down on you. For once so far this summer, it's not either pouring down rain or 100 degrees. So.
Yes, certainly a nice evening. We've enjoyed it. Just had a couple of sprinkles, but they're actually nice to kind of cool things down. It's been a nice evening to sit back, relax, and enjoy some of the music here in downtown Uniontown. Josh, as always, enjoyed working with you again tonight.
Absolutely. Had a great time, Brian.
And again, stay tuned to WMBS. Plenty of live broadcasts coming up as well over the weekend. We'll be in downtown Uniontown for Founders Day with Matt and Arnie coming up on Saturday from 12 to 2, and then up in Scottdale at the St. Joseph and St. John's Church up there in Scottdale with Matt and TJ as well from 2 to 4. So wrap it up for us tonight. For Josh Kreis, this is Brian Morozak on your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS.
We're clear.
Thanks, Jerome.